Hey there buddy, and what's going on? Today I'm checking out Wild Bill's in Middletown. I've been here before in the previous video, but I came back every couple of weeks looking for something unique, and I also heard about this flea market. It's the first time I ever been here, and one of the very few in the area. The sellers here seem to have known William Ziegler, aka Wild Bill, for quite a long time because they had a lot of stories to tell. This woman in particular was really cool. She was hilarious.
You want a bag? Have you been inside yet?
Oh, I've been in there a couple of times already.
Oh.
Now that the whole area is closed down, I hope she's doing really well. But they didn't have the weird and odd and unusual things that Wild Bill's did. They had a lot of antiques, cool, pretty useful stuff. In the description box below, there's some quick links that you can use to skip around the video if you want. This was pretty cool. It was a Star Wars Trilogy Gold VHS pack. I had this one years ago. This is an awesome little stand. They had some baseball cards still in the wrap. Several other things too, like some DVDs I haven't seen in a long time. Dollar comics. And now this is inside of Wild Bill's, and of course I have to check out my Atari 2600 clicking sounds again. A lot of these games I owned. Not this one though. And here's some dollar comics again. I'll speed this up as I'm looking for the Batman detective comics and the Robin comics. I used to read them when I was in my teens. This is a pretty cool little setup here, Pee-wee's Playhouse. And does anybody know what Swear Bears is? Does it swear? Does it talk? What is it? It was popular for a while, but I never checked them out. Barack Obama Bank. Now, I came here every couple of weeks looking for the 1986 Topps year set of baseball cards, and I knew he had to have it somewhere, but all he ever had out was the 87, 88, 89, so he had these variety packs with different cards from different years kind of mixed in. So I bought 6 of them. I only show 5 here, but I did get 6. And 90210 dolls. I'd like to know who actually bought these before. Here in the back of the store, they had some year sets of baseball cards, you know, in another location, but it wasn't the 86 seasons. I wish I got these Smurf figurines. They also have some singles of baseball cards. This one is of Steve Crawford, who's a pitcher I used to really root for back in the day, but now that I'm older, I realize he wasn't that great. Here's some old baseball figurines. I bet this was worth something one day, but nobody collects them anymore. And then Miss Pac Man cabinet is still here, if I had the money. Here's a whole wall of sports figurines. Kind of modern though, so it's not anything I'm interested in. A Ronald McDonald that probably came from some playland. I don't recall this Fisher-Price toy, but that little figurine, he looks like he's really pissed off and having a bad day at work. Well, Bill's had a little too many DVDs to sell. And look at this casino machine is still here, but you can see why. It's pretty expensive. When I come back later on, I find out that it still does work. Now, do you remember these gas station toys? They used to be really high quality back in the day. Nowadays, they're nothing. And I wanted that Batman poster, but when I looked down below, there wasn't any. I didn't realize until I came back a few more weeks later that I could have just taken it right out of the display. But I really love the original Tim Burton Batman, the very first one with Michael Keaton. Now every time I passed Wild Bill's in the past, the parking lot was never very full, but now that it's closing, this place is completely packed. And when they do finally close for the very last day, I did make a video of it and I will release it later on. They let you into this back lot, which is really interesting, and it's a really cool area. I can't wait to show you. Now this isn't the end of the video, this is the end of the day, and I come here to Goodwill to do a little thrifting, check some things out. I really want a dartboard, but this one was a little high priced. I love these retro counter stools. This must be from Harry Potter with that tiny little wand. This thing, it has to be a toy, but it had so much heft to it, and a lot of little lights and stuff like that. So it was definitely a washing machine toy, but it was awfully heavy for one. So I was trying to figure out, what does it do? Nothing open. You know, it doesn't say a lot about me if I can't figure out how to use a toy. Die-hard battery. This is really cool. I really wished I picked this up. Now, if you see one of these at a thrift shop, pick it up. Well, here I am back at Wild Bill's 2 weeks later. And checking out the flea market once more. And I decided to take a little visit in the courtyard because it looks like they did some mowing, so you can actually get to the displays. Okay, now this area I thought was just a storage area. It turns out it was a bookstore that they only opened once in a great while throughout the year. And it did seem like it was storage. There was a lot of things just laying around, like these cool prize wheels of some sort. There was boxes of books laying everywhere. Sleighs. This bell. And language books. You know how much they cost nowadays? These were dirt cheap back in the day. This must be a timeline poster of Bill's accomplishments throughout the history. Okay, as I said, there are a lot of things in here. More sleighs. Popeye. Man, I loved this cartoon when I was a kid. I wish I could get this record. Creepy clown in the corner. And check out these animal heads hung up in this little room behind these bars. I'd hate to have a hangover and wake up in this room one day. Man. What is this? Is this a gnome? And what's with this little creepy mannequin arm with no fingers? I love this tiger in the black light. In fact, the whole room right here, this little miniature room, was made for black lights. Even had his nice little sign. Now here we go back in and see what's new this week. And right away I find this camera. I love these old-fashioned cameras like this. So big and sturdy, you could drop it. The only thing that would break is probably the bulb, but these things could take a hell of a punishment. And look at this, a Milton Bradley electronic battleship. Sold at Caldor's, a long-forgotten department store, and made in 1979. Oh man, somebody definitely grabbed this. And I was going back looking for the Batman poster. It was gone, but I do want this Rambo poster, so I picked it up. Okay, and here's some things that I picked up during these visits. And thank you for watching, and thank you for all the subscriptions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.